E aí galera, tudo bem com vocês? Seja bem-vindo a mais um vídeo aqui no nosso canal, uma live, né, no nosso canal. Eu vou jogar pra vocês Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown, porque o jogo tá fazendo, o Ace Combat, na saga, Ace Combat tá fazendo 25 anos, né? Primeiro foi lançado em 95, então eu tô trazendo aí um pouquinho da campanha pra vocês, né, uma live mais curtinha, mostrando pra vocês um pouco do jogo. O jogo tá, inclusive, com uma bela de uma promoção na Steam, tá? Apesar de eu achar ele bem caro para o jogo que foi lançado em 2018, primeiro, né? Foi lançado em 2018 o Ace Combat 7, fim de 2018, e 2019 chegou no PC. Ele custa 159 e ele tá por 52 na Steam. Tá com uma promoção até amanhã, acho interessante. Se vocês gostarem do jogo, vale bastante a pena. Se você está vendo esse vídeo no YouTube, esse vídeo também está sendo transmitido no Twitch, mas esse vídeo também vai para o YouTube, então se você está assistindo no YouTube, seja bem-vindo, se inscreva no canal, ative o sino para receber as notificações, curta o vídeo, comente, compartilhe, fale para seus amigos sobre um canal no YouTube e na Twitch, que tem live quase todo dia, tá? A partir das 2 horas, de segunda a sábado, Miranda está aqui, trazendo League of Legends, Valorant ou Fall Guys. De terça e quinta à noite, por volta das 8 horas, 8h30, tem live especial para vocês, tá bom? Então vamos lá, vou começar aqui um modo campanha. Vou reiniciar a história, né? Tava só testando se o jogo ia funcionar de boas. Eu jogo Ace Combat há muito tempo. Não joguei o primeiro, mas joguei várias versões do Ace Combat. Ace Combat é um jogo um jogo de combate aéreo, basicamente. Então sempre tem alguma história em relação a alguma guerra, sempre fictícia, então eu gosto bastante, eu acho um jogo bem legal. O grande lance do Ace Combat é que sempre no final do jogo é sempre é uma nave gigante, um avião muito grande, ou uma base, que você tem que entrar na base, tipo, subterrâneo, passar por baixo e estourar ela. É bem legal.
Cruising above the clouds, the dark blue of the stratosphere. Nothing beats being at the controls and seeing it from the cockpit. Look here.
Gramps tossed a magazine over to me with an article. Unmanned fighters are no longer a dream, it read. Pilots taking to the skies will soon be a distant memory.
I don't see anything good coming from that.
Know what? Lying smack dab in the middle of the desert west of here, there's a bunch of planes from the last war. Some of them have been mothballed, but most of them are just rusted piles of junk waiting to be scrapped. Gramps was really good friends with the super there, so he got to take whatever he wanted, no questions asked. That's how we got the parts to build our own plane. Now, when I say we, I mean me, my grandpa, and his old war buddies. I cut my teeth working with those geezers. They taught me their skills and some dirty jokes. But with their aging eyeballs and whatnot, I ended up having to do most of the work myself. I was at the airstrip doing some flight training when I saw it. A prototype drone. It wasn't much of a plane, more of a trash can with wings.
Laugh at it all you want, kid. But technology's always changing. If you don't keep up with it, it'll leave your ass behind.
It took 6 years and 8 months to get that engine running. And it took us another 1.5 years after that to finally get the balance of the airframe just right. I'd gone from being a little girl to, well, still a girl, just older. But now, I was all alone. Wherever the souls of my Gramps and his pals are flying, I hope it's peaceful. Then, finally, I was ready to break the sound barrier. All this plane could do was take off, accelerate, and fly up. straight up, through the clouds, higher into the sky.
A trilha sonora desse jogo é muito boa.
I could almost touch it. Then I saw Osia's fighters. They were tailing something. A drone. They were going full out chasing that thing. Doing 30 Gs at least. Damn, I've never seen anything move that fast. It had a rose painted on it. The Erusian emblem. But that country's a whole continent away from here.
Crap. You should have been wearing a vest with you, piece of junk. Should have built a return too.
Será que é um fragmento da história?
Is everyone here? Settle down. I said settle down. You have all been instrumental in helping to maintain peace in Usea as members of the International Union Peacekeeping Force. Until today. Earlier, our radar site informed us that a group of unidentified aircraft was approaching. Communication systems went down immediately afterwards. We are led to conclude that they have attacked the site. Here's your mission. It's possible that the Usian ceasefire agreement has been broken for the first time in over a decade. As of today, the Fort Gray's Airbase Squadron of the IUPF has been put on high alert. All members who have been ordered to sortie, fly there immediately. Find the unidentified craft, then use your weapons to round them up and force them to land. If the hostiles counterattack, then you will...
What the hell was that? There's smoke! We're under attack. Numerous unidentified aircraft confirmed overhead. What? How is that possible?
The tank farm to the north has been bombed!
Many injured.
Scramble! All units, take off and eliminate the unidentified craft attacking the base. This is not a drill.
Certo. Então, nome da operação Deerhorn, que é eu vou ter que abater os bombardeiros hostis. Dia 15 de maio de 2019. Condições do céu ensolarado e cobertores de nuvens parcialmente encoberto. Eu posso ver a posição dos meus inimigos e dos meus aliados. Eu sou esse verde. Então vamos lá. Eu vou pro próximo. Sou eu. Beleza. Então, árvore de aeronave, eu vou dar uma olhadinha do que eu tenho aqui. Pontos são dados com base no desempenho em missões e partidas, que é esse PRM1. Eles podem ser trocados por novas aeronaves. Armamento especial e peças na árvore de aeronave. Você os recebe no modo campanha por cada missão que você completa e no modo multiplayer por cada partida que você joga. Que ainda tem um detalhe, esse jogo ainda tem um modo multiplayer, além desse do modo campanha. O melhor desempenho determinado pelo seu tempo de conclusão no número de abates recebe mais pontos. Use PRM na árvore de aeronave para obter aeronaves, armamentos, peças poderosas, dando a você uma chance melhor no ar. Então, eu vou passar isso daqui, fica explicando aqui o que é cada um, que eu posso habilitar com esses pontos várias aeronaves diferentes e também armas e tudo mais. Certo. Eu posso... com 70 mil, eu posso pegar um F-14D. Eu só tenho 59.940. Então não consigo pegar. Esse eu tenho, esse eu não tenho, que é eu tenho um míssil ar, né, que é... Consigo só atirar em objetos no espaço aéreo. Tem esse tipo ar-terra, tá ligado? Alcance de dano, recarga. Então esses faz diferença, né? Faz uma puta diferença você ter um armamento para cada tipo de situação. No caso aqui, provavelmente vai ser ar, né? A primeira missão, normalmente a primeira missão é só tutorial. Então, um tutorialzinho aqui de leve. Eu já possuo esses 3. Eu tenho um F10 F10 4C Avril, F4E e o F16C. Desses aqui, acho que esse é mais balanceado, mas o F4E tem mais velocidade. Eu vou ficar com o F4E mesmo. Eu não tenho esses outros mísseis, eu vou pegar o SASM ou SASM. Provavelmente não sei o nome direito disso. Mas é um míssil Arar. Então, aqui eu posso selecionar aeronave, arma, peças, sair do hangar ou surtida quer sair.
Squadron, aircraft preparations complete. Stand by at the front.
Minha missão, primeira missão, abata os bombardeiros hostis. E dessa é uma missão bem simples. Conforme vai passando o jogo, ele vai ficando um pouco mais complicado, mas...
Get those birds in the sky. We're sitting ducks. What's happening? Bombers incoming. Don't know how many.
Let's clear that runway. We don't got all day here.
Main Squadron, head to runway. Column Squadron, take off. Link to Skykeeper. Hurry, Main Squadron. Trigger, your call sign is page 2. Verify and read back.
Certo.
Page 2, clear for takeoff. Situation is tight.
Então, uso RT no meu controle aqui do Xbox, seguro para acelerar e decolar.
Do me a favor and get that bird in the air ASAP.
Hear that? Column Squadron and your wingmen are airborne. Take off and form up with Mage 1. Mage 2, altitude restriction is lifted. Good luck.
The carrier. Whoa. Looks like the harbor's taken a lot of damage.
Can't have any more casualties. Time to stop the
Aqui
bullshit.
com o analógico esquerdo eu subo e
Mage 2,
desço.
form up with Mage 1. All aircraft, let's do this. Golem Squadron, it's go time.
Com o analógico direito eu consigo olhar minha nave.
This is the AWACS Skykeeper. Take down all unidentified bombers. They don't have many escorts. They hit our radars hard in the last attack. Expect the worst and stay sharp.
We'll go.
Aí esse vermelho no mapa é o meu inimigo. Ele tem um quadrado verde em volta dele. E o TGT de Target, eu posso diminuir a velocidade para poder me posicionar melhor. E quando chegar a mais ou menos 2000, ele vai travar. Eu aperto B. Vou apertar 2 porque 2 normalmente destrói o inimigo.
Enemy bomber confirmed down. Good job, Mage 2.
Not bad, Mage 2. Trigger, switch your radar. See if you can locate the enemy.
Ó, eu vou mudar o meu radar para poder ver. Olha lá. Mais inimigos. Realmente quando eu entro nessas nuvens aqui, aí molha a tela, com uns pinguinhos de chuva na tela, dá turbulência também, né? Ele balança, né, a aeronave. Aqui eu já sei se apertar Y vai mudar de alvo lá, vai mudando o alvo, mas eu vou atrás do TGT. Aqui o ideal é não ficar... O ideal não é eu tentar bater ele muito de lado. Consegui desviar dos... os caras já bateram antes de mim. Deixa eu voltar aqui pro... Aqui. Vai ter inimigo ali na frente. Ó. Se eu segurar o L1 e R1, RB, o LT, ele entra em piloto automático. Então ele ajusta a aeronave pra mim. Mas vamos seguir até aqueles pontos vermelhos lá.
forget your special weapon.
Mudei o X para uma arma especial que eu tenho, que essa arma é a RR, né? É uma arma bem poderosa, um tiro já foi suficiente. Que eu já matei. 2 mísseis normais normalmente destroem um.
Not too shabby, Mage 2. You still got a long way to go, kid. I'll give you some pointers back at base if you can make it in one piece. Skykeeper, this is Mage 1, over. Tally 2 bandits.
Copy that. It's a bomber and an escort.
Whoa there, Trigger. Settle down. Mage 2, maintain your element with Mage 1. Do not break off. Mage 1, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. Wilco, Golem 2, let's maintain element.
Copy that, Commander. I've got your 6 covered, sir.
Radio.
Tá vindo de frente pra mim. Vou tentar usar a arma especial pra ver se eu consigo matar ele. Aqui de frente é muito complicado.
Golem, Mage, 2 new enemy groups.
Acertei ele. Ah, isso aqui é um avião grande.
Drones? Are you kidding me right now? Jesus, this is the kind of shit that really chaps my ass. UAVs. I can't tell them apart.
Tem mais inimigos aqui na frente e tem mais ali atrás. Então eu vou seguir pra esse na frente. E eu tenho tempo também, né? Tá, 19 minutos contando. Beleza, destruir. Eu não posso bater no avião, né? Tem mais 3 na frente. Eu deixo esses brancos mais... porque eles são suporte, né? Eu deixo os brancos mais pra... caso esteja complicado, destruir eles antes. Tem 3... Tem 4, na verdade. Eu vou deixar eles passar pra poder pegar eles... Que é melhor pegar por trás. Beleza. Não sei se vai destruir. Destruiu. Desviar do míssil. Tem sempre uma indicação de onde fica, onde está o míssil.
Mage 2, keep your focus. You got this.
Mage 2, walking.
Missile inbound, evading.
Beleza. Aqui a missão terminou, porque os aviões sumiram, os outros.
It's a Golem and Mage. Job well done. All bombers are down. Our radar shows no sign of bandits. You're in the clear.
Missão cumprida.
Good going, Mage 2. Flight commander looks like he's got what it takes. Let's slow down. It's just one sortie. Don't try to be a hero. I want you to make it back in one piece, you hear?
Yeah, I gotta side with the boss man on this.
Golem Squadron, this is HQ. Did you confirm any drones? What's the deal with all the drones? Golem 1, return to base and report for debriefing.
Isso. É o inimigo passando? Aí dá pra você ver também uma... Dá pra você ver também um replay, né, de como foi, ó. Aí vamos pular. Vamos pra próxima missão.
We are currently assessing the damage to the base. We have confirmed that the aircraft carrier Albatross was sunk. We know the attacking bogies were from Erusia. International Union peacekeeping force bases all over the Yusian continent were attacked in the same way. The damage is severe. Many wars are lost by failing to recover from the opening blows. That means successfully retaliating was very important. You may have turned the tides of battle here. You have our thanks.
Aqui mostram o resultado da missão. Eu consigo ver o que eu fiz, o estrago na missão. Atrás dos inimigos, ó, ele vai mostrar destruindo. É bem legal. E os pontos que eu fiz. Próxima missão.
As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusia has declared war on the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on. I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Yuja, has been seized by the Erusian army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent of Yuja, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Yusian peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
Breaking news from ENN. Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Yuja was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from 2 continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Yusians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Yuja, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusia, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusia went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone. The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusia didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Osean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye. I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship, too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusia, on the opposite side of the Yuuzhan continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out, and set the dogs on me.
Enquanto a gente joga as missões paralelas aqui ao que está acontecendo na guerra, a gente conhece a história dessa personagem.
Erusia has made a declaration to the Osean Federation and all countries on the Yuuzhan continent stationing the IUN peacekeeping force that we are now at war. Right after the declaration was made, surprise attacks began around the continent that have inflicted major damage to our armed forces. Forces aligned with Erusia are currently appearing throughout Yuuzhan. The combination of these forces has overwhelmed the majority of the continent, and they are now encroaching on us in the east. Additionally, the multinational space elevator has been seized by the Erusian military. After the previous war, the space elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing energy concerns. Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent. We cannot turn a blind eye to this critical situation. The Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as an advanced element. First, you will attack all hostiles coming in the east of Schofield Plateau to stop any interference with the Allied ground troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support. If that happens, fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
Certo. Então agora eu tenho que atacar inimigos terrestres. A ideia então é pegar alguns mísseis com munição que eu consigo atacar o chão. Deixa eu ver, esse daqui se eu tenho... Ah, esse aqui não está disponível. Eu quero esse daqui. Tá, eu tenho meus mísseis normais e tenho uma arma que é ar-terra. Então, vou deixar ela configurada dessa forma. E com certeza alguns desses inimigos terrestres eu consigo destruir com a minha ou metralhadora ou também o meu míssil comum, né?
Current target is on rails, but there's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry. Destroy the target. But HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damage is to be done to public facilities.
But, any aircraft shot down could land in civilian territory.
No point arguing. That's how war
Ele
is.
tá ligado, então tranquilo.
Anti-air radar vehicles, they should be close.
Yep.
Perfeito, tá?
Intercept! Fire the AA! Get the radar vehicle out of there!
It's popping off now, Trigger. The war has officially begun.
Target destroyed. 5 to go.
Get the fighters out there! Protect the radar vehicle!
Eu vou destruindo esses radares aqui. Eu tô desencanando dos veículos antiaéreos.
Target destroyed. 3 to go. Continue to engage at your discretion. Enemy interceptors inbound. Prepare to engage in 30 seconds.
Wilco, here they come. Take them down.
There's a missile after you!
Okay, recruits. Pay attention to who's on what side. The newest IFF is connected to our entire force via
Desviar.
satellite. It's reliable, so
Perfeito.
trust your radars.
That was the last radar vehicle. Great work. Radar vehicle's destroyed, but the interceptor shows no sign of retreating. Take it out. Continue with the mission. Crush as many as you can.
Enemy transports are taxiing.
Agora eu tenho que destruir as aeronaves. Então, vamos.
They also mess with your HUD and radar. The Seekers can sometimes lose their lock-on to their targets, too.
No, they're not linked to the radar vehicles. Launch manually. Redo the setup. Here's some feedback for those war merchants.
Esperar ele ficar numa posição melhor. Beleza.
Golem 1, enemy will crash in a residential area.
Just worry about staying alive for now.
Tentando pegar esse... Não, ele tá meio de lado, é melhor não... tentar agora.
Behind target and ready to attack.
Mage 2, walking.
Confirm. My brother was in that radar unit. I'm taking damage, but I'm good to go.
Wait, so you want us to take down the enemy without damaging any public facilities? That's gonna be a circus.
Enemy has blocked me.
O ideal é sempre deixar a aeronave inimiga.
Do we really have interceptors? There's no power.
All right, this base is worth
Destruir.
destroying. 4 targets
Tinha uma
remaining.
base embaixo. Tô tentando mudar de... Ah, aqui.
He's mine. He's not getting away.
Nossa! Explodiu. Explodiu feio aqui. Deixa eu ver onde tá o outro. Tá no chão ainda? Aqui, ó. Ih, vamos ver os dronezinhos agora.
What happened? Status report.
Multiple bogies on radar. They're close.
Wait, they're being launched.
You're cleared to engage. They're probably hostile.
Judging by the way they look and move, they They gotta be drones. Well spotted, Clown. No doubt about it, we're dealing with UAVs. But that doesn't change a thing. Just think of them as somewhat clever decoys. Take them all down. These drones have great agility. All aircraft. You know what high G turns are, right? Use them. Missed.
Stall warning.
HQ, this is Golem 1. Bandits confirmed as UAVs. Repeat, bandits are drones.
Golem 1, that doesn't matter. Destroy all enemy fighters and get out.
It doesn't matter.
He's saying the war can change in an instant. Get over it.
Yeah, I just wish they'd give us a bit more warning.
Agora eu tenho um problema, né? Porque eu tinha armamento. Eu tinha armamento para atingir os veículos terrestres. E agora eu tenho uns drones para lutar contra. Aqui ele tá meio de lado, não compensa tentar atirar agora. Eu tenho que tentar chegar na... Deixar ele virado de... Ah, não consegui. É rápido. Ai, deixa eu ver se eu consigo. Nossa, errei de novo. Vai ficar um pouco mais complicado, né? Esqueci da metralhadora, eu tava usando só míssil. Mas dá pra chegar por trás e usar a metralhadora. Destruir. Quase pegou.
Behind target and ready to attack.
One to go. Let's get through this without any casualties.
Falta um.
Stall warning.
That's a miss.
The enemy knows a few moves, but that's about it. Just chase them down and pull the trigger.
Where'd he go?
Ele tá indo.
Mage 2, missile away.
Aê.
Nice kill, Trigger. Enemy aircraft confirmed down.
The skies are clear. Nice work, everyone. Mission complete. RTB.
No casualties. We couldn't have done any better.
Beleza.
I don't know. Maybe the bandits we took down caused civilian casualties.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days.
You shoot, someone gets killed. The guys in charge take care of the rest.
Vamos ver. Vai começar a ficar mais complicado. Mas vou mostrar mais uma missão pra vocês, tá, do jogo. E depois finalizar essa live. Esse vídeo vai pro YouTube. E vocês podem acompanhar, inclusive, a nossa programação semanal lá no Instagram.com/PlayStormOficial.
The first barrier keeping us from retaking the space elevator is gone. Now is the time to group up and begin the counteroffensive. Let us reclaim what is ours.
Certo. Tirei patentear. Fui bem, então.
The surprise attacks carried out after the declaration of war saw the peacekeeping forces of various countries, including Osea, suffer major damage. The ships moored around the space elevator and near Gandar Bay have been hit particularly hard. Numerous ships have been sunk and abandoned. Fortunately, our cutting-edge aircraft carrier, Kestrel 2, was at sea, so it was spared from the attack. Kestrel 2 is now preparing to launch another attack against Erusia's capital, Farbanti. The aircraft carrier Vulture also managed to escape Gandar Bay safely. However, it lost all its aircraft, so it's sailing empty. Today, the International Union Peacekeeping Force reclaims its bid to the space elevator. The Fort Gray's Island Air Base Squadron will rendezvous with the carrier Vulture for a joint mission. The first objective will be to seize air superiority in Schoppenberg in order to secure a route for the support squadrons. The enemy maintains air superiority over Schoppenberg, so expect heavy resistance from enemy aircraft. There's more, so listen carefully. Right from the start of the war, the enemy has been deploying drones. They're using a new advanced type of drone. The unmanned airborne aircraft carrier, the Arsenal Bird, carries this new drone, MQ-101. The Osean Army headed up the development of the massive Arsenal Birds and dispatched them to the space elevator to provide support. However, it's been reported that the carriers may have fallen into the hands of the Erusian forces. If that's true, it could be a significant obstacle for us. We need to regain control of the space elevator ASAP. Good luck out there.
Começou a aparecer umas aeronaves um pouquinho mais avançadas, complexas. E vamos lá. Eu tenho... vai ser só ar. Eu vou ver se eu tenho como comprar alguma aeronave. Aqui, eu consigo comprar já F. $70.000. Eu posso comprar F2A, que é de 100 mil. Tenho dinheiro para isso. Pode ser, né? Deixa eu ver. Essa aqui é um pouquinho, essa aqui um pouquinho. Vou comprar esse daqui de 105. E vou usar ela. É bonitona. Beleza. Então, F2A comprada. Eu vou comprar a artilharia pesada, ar, que eu não tenho, e essa RKT, que é a terra, HVAA, até ligado, interessante. RKT é para terra, mas não é até ligado, mas ele solta 4 bombas. Eu vou deixar comprada. Provavelmente não vou usar agora nessa missão. Vou comprar o freio aerodinâmico para essa aeronave. Eu ganhei um pouquinho mais de velocidade e mobilidade. Eu tenho 10.000. Carga explosiva de alta especificação. Aumenta o poder da bomba especial. Eu não vou usar isso agora, mas... vou deixar aqui. Então vou usar minha aeronave nova. F2A. Seu apelido não oficial é Viper Zero. Viper Zero. Legal. E ela é bem mais rápida do que a outra. Então vamos a essa. Não, eu não vou usar essas de vermelho que são terra, né? Ar terra. Eu vou usar a HVAA. E vamos.
Mage Squadron, aircraft preparations complete.
Refueling initiated. Maintain your current position. 100. Trigger,
Okay.
maintain your current approach.
50 meters.
Tem que manter aqui pra abastecer. Manter posição. É. Olha lá. Abastecer. Se eu tivesse errado.
Mage Squadron, this is the situation.
Nossa, muito legal esse avião. Olha. Muito legal.
Mage Squadron, eliminate all bandits in the current airspace. We have the upper hand, but that doesn't mean we can ease up. Good luck.
Mage 1, Wilco. Mage 1 to Golem 1, thank your lucky stars. Looking good, Mage Squadron. Keep up that pressure. Trigger time to show the other guys that we get wet wild and do dirty, dirty things. Once you hit one of them, stick to him like glue. Don't let him out of your sights, even in the clouds. And so, your first hunting season begins. I'm here! I've lost control! If you can't evade a missile, use chaff and flares.
Nossa, bem perto.
Still move, even if you're in a 9G turn. They're in the clouds.
Ah, eu tenho flare agora. Que tá LR. Caramba, esse míssil que eu comprei, o HVA, é muito bom. Caramba. Errei. Ok. Vou usar o míssil normal agora. Ótimo. Mandei bem. Esse míssil especial é muito bom. É, mas foi muito fácil também, né?
Missile incoming! Evade! Break! Break!
What the hell?
Caution! Missile!
Caution! Large aircraft is approaching. All aircraft, stay alert.
Eita, olha lá. Começou a aparecer umas aeronaves maiores. Fala aí, Biel. É, esse jogo aqui, mas pega o jeito, cara. Não é difícil, não. Esse Combat é muito conhecido por ter essas aeronaves bem grandes, sabe? Tipo, tem uma, acho que é o 6 ou 5 que você tem que destruir muitos. Tipo, a aeronave nem cabe na tela. Os vários mísseis agora. Vou descer pra tentar não. Imaginei o que tem aqui.
These guys are definitely a step above the last drones. Damn, they're agile. There's too many of them. These guys won't do easy. Enemy on my ship.
All aircraft, no change in game plan. Destroy the arsenal.
Tem dois atrás. Nossa, quase. Ah, atualizou a missão. É nele mesmo que eu tenho que ir, ó.
Damn. Skeleton 1 lost. Skeleton 2, take over command.
Gargoyle Squadron, this is Gargoyle 1. Skeleton Squadron needs help. The hell are we supposed to do?
Status?
Verifying the situation.
Golem 2, missile, evade!
Evading!
Fox 2.
Nossa, me estou muito...
Shit, Golem 2, do you copy?
This is Golem 2. Instruments still appear to be functioning okay.
Skeleton 3, break! Break!
Trigger 6.
Golem 2, let's maintain element.
We lost another friendly!
Skeleton 3's lost.
É que eu consegui me posicionar melhor agora.
Where's that report?
Continue to maintain air superiority.
HQ, what's happening?
Skykeeper, I repeat, maintain air superiority. How's that happen?
What the hell? Caution. All aircraft, stay alert.
Get out of there.
Breaking!
Control ground.
Que isso?
I'm breaking up.
Skeleton 2 lost.
Ele tem uma...
Skeleton Squadron is down.
Tem uma barreira.
Too many losses. All squadrons, command has ordered a complete withdrawal. Leave the operation area immediately.
Brilliant observation. They do
Olha isso, ele tem um escudo.
Save your chatter for the debriefing.
Que foda.
Golem and Mage Squadron, give our allies some time to escape.
We'll go, but Golem 2's hit. Gotta send her back. Let's get dirty, Trigger.
Missão atualizada. É, deixar ele pra lá.
Those UAVs. Don't let them touch any friendlies.
Golem 2, head back to base.
Gargoyle 1, escort Golem 2.
Continuing the mission. Still got my wings. Trigger doesn't need to fill in for me. I'm back in
You won't make any difference up here. Get back to base and cool your head.
Copy that.
Ai, não consegui.
They're locked
Vou
on.
pegar um que tá outro aqui.
I can't get him off.
Fox 2, Fox 2.
Yowza!
Ammunition 0. Ammunition 0.
Got one in my sights.
Retreating aircraft. Leave the AO. Allies will hold off pursuit. Golem
Vou
Squadron,
pegar esse
Mage Squadron,
daqui.
hang in there and come
Ah,
back safe.
aquele aviãozão lá vai ser algum chefão mais pra frente.
Mage 2, UAV down. More UAVs spotted. Gargoyle Squadron, they might cut off your retreat.
Que isso?
Status is fine. Affirmative. This is Gargoyle 1. Leaving Operation Airspace with Golem 2.
Retreating aircrafts, prepare for combat. It's a bogey. Gargoyle 1, Golem 2, engage now. Attack.
One bandit. SU-30.
Gargoyle 1. Caution! Missile!
He's fast. It's like he's...
Skykeeper. Gargoyle 1 lost.
What the hell? Golem 2, status report.
Não vai.
Just talk to me.
Tá bom.
I'm against an SU-30. Large wingtips. I can't shake it off. It's matching me move for move.
Golem 2, stop dogfighting and run.
Ai.
Squadron handle it. They'll pull through.
Get your asses out.
Going for the loner. I maneuver behind the enemy.
É, garoto.
UAV down. Keep it up, buddy.
Portrait aircraft.
Tô com 37 mísseis, eu não sei se vou conseguir matar tudo. Mas vamos lá.
I'm dead meat. I don't get it. Why isn't it opening fire? I'm scared. I'm scared.
This is not good. Brownie, break off.
This is where we lost.
Não sei se você
That boy,
acertei.
Mage 2, just keep firing.
Hey, Squadron, get those things off my ass.
I'm tied up now. Trigger, can you help him?
Ai, quase bati nele. Voltar.
Missile away.
Does Mage Squadron still have their hot shot? Then we just might make it out. Don't look back, just have faith.
Think focus.
Golem and Mage, we owe you a debt. And we'll pay it.
UAV confirmed down.
Ele tá virando.
How can I retreat with a UAV on my tail?
Distract the bandit. Buy your friend some time.
Ainda.
Hell of a good job, Mage 2.
Ixi, agora vai ter lá do outro lado.
As possible.
Tá acabando, tá acabando.
Golem 2, what's your status? Status report.
He's a predator. The weak get eaten.
Golem 2, get a hold of yourself. Golem 2, get away from the enemy.
Mage 2, support!
Chegando.
Somebody! Support!
Golem 2, lost.
Shit. Skykeeper, where's the one that got brownie?
I'm afraid he's long gone by now. Sorry.
Não consegui salvar um. Mas eu acho que não ia dar pra... Ia dar pra salvar todo mundo.
I said what I had to say. About what? Not a girl who'd retreat. Just not in her DNA. That was the right decision at the time. No, I should have never let a fledgling like her out of my reach to begin with.
Golem Squadron, Mage Squadron, withdraw.
Missão cumprida. Foi difícil isso daqui, já deu um gostinho ali da área 9 aí, ó, gigantona. Tem um escudo. Muito legal. É, eu não sei se é o chefão final, mas é um que vai dar trabalho. Vamos pousar.
Mage 2, lower speed. Mage 2, bank left. 1500 to runway. Mage 2, lower nose, you're too high. You're past the guidance limit. Make a visual landing.
Foi ruim isso aqui. Mas deu certo. Ai, bater lá na frente. Nossa.
Nicely done, Mage 2. I knew you'd be back. Stand by for further orders. Be ready for your next sortie.
Ok. Pensou perder o jogo na aterrissagem.
Unfortunately, the two-front offensive was a failure. The aircraft carrier Kestrel II was sunk during the attack on Farbanti. Carrier-borne aircraft mistakenly bombed urban areas, and this has turned public opinion in neutral countries against us. Our own forces also suffered heavy losses. If it weren't for a few extraordinary fighters, many of us wouldn't have made it home. The situation is grim. We have precious little time, however. We have to get to the space elevator.
Certo. E bastante ponto nesse aqui. Vou só entrar para ver se algum vídeo mostrando algum vídeo para finalizar aqui para vocês.
Here he comes.
São os inimigos, né? Tem logo pelo menos.
He has his granddaughters here to help him out. They're sisters, 15 and 10.
Eita.
Engaging the enemy in combat so we could use his physiological data to improve the drones had always taken a toll on Mihai's body. But today, he was really showing his age. The drones we based on his data were being taken down at a faster rate now compared to when the war began. When Mihai found that out, he insisted on flying to the front lines to see it for himself. Sometimes he could be so stubborn. His age wasn't the only thing affecting his health. Over the years, flying at high altitudes for prolonged stretches of time had ravaged and poisoned his body. But he was a man of grit. Today, after 28 years, he he saw combat again. If his flight suit still wasn't good enough to protect him, I can't imagine how many G's he hit today during the battle. As a pilot, he exceeds all our expectations. It's going to take a bit more tweaking before our drones can match his skill.
Então, os inimigos usam um cara que é piloto excelente para pegar os dados.
This place is a shithole. If you took the stink of all the corruption in the world, then corralled it all in one place, that would give you a pretty good idea of what the air smells like around here. We got all kinds of critters, too. Everything from flea-ridden guards, rabid dogs, and a mechanic doing a stretch for life. I can't forget the rats. Yeah, we got those. And some pilots who got their wings clipped, too. One's a great pilot, but a lousy thief. One's a gambler with no luck. And one's an anarchist with no balls. Their job here was to rev the engines on the fake runways. The idea was for Aruja's spy satellite to pick up the heat sig. Even though there weren't any real fighters here, it looked like it on their infrared. I bet you're wondering, if Aruja lost the war, how come they still have a spy satellite? Because someone over there was smart enough to train a bunch of computer nerds to hack into half of Osia's satellites. That's how come. Every now and again, I'd try to bust out. And every single time, those damn dogs would drag me right back. When I was in my cell, I'd hear this voice coming from the guards room. It was the Arusian princess rallying her people on the Arusian national broadcast. All us prisoners had become big fans of hers. You want to hear something funny? The guards were big fans too. I swear to God, every time she was on the air, they'd turn up the volume on the radio and sit there listening. I could see how someone like her could win the hearts and minds of soldiers and workers alike. When the princess said something, you could tell she meant every word. Lately, she'd been having more fun with her speeches, and that made her seem even more charming. You could say her charm was like a virus. Whenever she'd point out stuff that was wrong with Osia, the prisoners in here went nuts. Hell, if anyone knew how messed up Osia was, it was the prisoners. They'd shout, "Burn Osia down." No way am I just gonna sit here and rot away in this hellhole. Dark blue. Instead of building fake-ass planes to trick Aruja, I'm gonna build one that'll really take off. You can count on that.
Beleza, missão 4. E eu vou finalizando a live aqui. Mostrei 3 missões bem interessantes. Provavelmente o chefão do jogo, ou não, uma parte dele, que é uma nave muito grande. Vou pular isso daqui, só para poder... Isso. Beleza. Tem resgatar o ex-presidente, aquele que subiu lá naquela torre. Né? Então essa é a missão 4. Mas eu vou ficando por aqui, senão vou me prolongar bastante. O vídeo vai ficar muito grande também no YouTube. Semana que vem eu pretendo trazer a DLC do Resident Evil 7, da Not a Hero. Que é a continuação do jogo, é exatamente no final, o final do jogo, ali é o começo da DLC, que mostra o Chris Hadfield indo atrás do Lucas. Então eu pretendo trazer para vocês essa DLC, porque eu joguei o Resident Evil 7 do começo ao fim. Tá? A série está disponível no youtube.com/PlayStormOficial. Então eu vou trazer a DLC para mostrar para vocês. Vou tentar terminar em uma live só, tá? Porque parece que a DLC não é tão longa, então ela é mais curtinha. Tentar finalizar ela na live para deixar mais esse conteúdo para vocês. A gente se preparar para o lançamento do Resident Evil 8, né? O Village. Tá legal? Agradeço aí a participação de todos. Biel, obrigado por participar, como sempre. Tá? Se você está no YouTube, se inscreve no canal, ativa o sino para receber as notificações, curta o conteúdo, compartilha, tá? Ajuda bastante a gente a crescer. Tá legal? Então é isso, até a próxima.